You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And now you know what it takes to get ready for college football on a Thursday night at Heinz Field on a beautiful night for college football in the ACC. And this is a big one on the coastal side. Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. It's really a three-team race now, all three with only one loss. So these two go head-to-head. The winner of this one has a great chance to represent the Coastal in the ACC Championship. Pitt has won the toss, and the Panthers defer, so they're going to kick off to the Hokies. Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer, Laura Rutledge. Happy to have you with us here on this Thursday night. And right as we get ready to start, the wind, which Jesse could be a factor tonight. It's blowing around inside Heinz Field, knocks the ball off the tee.
Yeah, you and I were down on the field before the game, and it's right. It's kind of swirling around a little bit. Will definitely, I think, be an impact tonight, both throwing the football and in the kicking game.
So here we go. Chris Blewett to Greg Stroman, who is the returner for the Hokies, and we are underway. It'll be Stroman just inside the end zone, bobbled the ball, scoops it up, and Stroman will be tackled right around the 10-yard line. So it's not going to be great field position for Virginia Tech, as the Hokies will have the ball first to welcome inside the booth here in Pittsburgh. And Jesse, it really is a huge game on the coastal side. You and I were in Blacksburg last week to watch Virginia Tech. If the Hokies play that way tonight, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, listen, I think this is two teams coming into tonight with a lot of confidence. And you're right, Virginia Tech looked so good winning it at home at Lane Stadium last Thursday against Miami. This has not been an easy place, though, for the Hokies. They've never won here. 0-4 all-time at Heinz Field, and they've lost 6 of their last 7 against Pitt. Big challenge for them.
We got some stars on both sides of the ball. Gerard Evans, the quarterback for Virginia Tech, has played very well. Number 5, the defensive end, leading the country in sacks. Juwan Price. That ball is dropped by Isaiah Ford on the first play from scrimmage. Gerard Evans, it was quite a road to get to Blacksburg. Signed with Air Force initially, played in junior college behind Kyle Postma, then went to Southwest. JC was the MVP with a great season at the junior college level. Now first-year starter here with the Hokies. And Evans, he can run. He also can deliver the ball to all the weapons they have on offense.
You can see, Dave, why he was the #1 rated JUCO prospect at quarterback. He can hurt you from the pocket throwing it. He might be their best running back. He's 6'3", 240 pounds, runs with strength, and he can make you miss.
Had almost 100 yards on the ground last week against Miami. Throwing the ball to Ford, who got ripped to the ground, I thought, but no penalty flag, incomplete.
That is the biggest key, I think, in tonight's game. It's the Virginia Tech wide receivers versus the DBs and corners from Pitt. Pitt plays a style of defense where they leave their corners on an island, so I'd expect Gerard Evans tonight to take a lot of shots downfield to his receivers. Number 1, Isaiah Ford, and number 7, Bucky Hodges.
Maybe not enough contact for a flag, so 2nd and 10. A play fake, Evans in the pocket, middle, caught by Ford for a nice completion and a Hokies first down.
Yeah, the play action fake, it forced Sean Idowu just to freeze for a moment in the slot at the nickel position, and that freed up Isaiah Ford in the slot down the seam.
27 yards for Virginia Tech through the air, and they would like to get number 1 involved. One of the best receivers in Virginia Tech history, and they've had a lot of good wide receivers in their storied history. This time Evans will keep it. On the left side, Evans, who is fast and strong, big, strong quarterback, gets the first down.
So Pitt's defense is set up to stop the run. They play their safeties back at about 10 yards deep. They load the box with 8, 9 guys, and right now they're leading the conference in run. The issue has been the pass defense. And those cornerbacks one-on-one this year, they've given up too many explosive plays. They know Virginia Tech is going to take their shots.
Price lines up. He's the great pass rusher for Pitt on the left side. Another play fake, and over the top. This one is a jump ball caught by Ford. So they're testing the outside early.
And it's a really nice job of Gerard Evans putting a lot of air under the football, allowing Isaiah Ford downfield to turn and locate the ball, get his body in position, and high point it on the back shoulder. Expect Virginia Tech to take a lot of these shots. They gotta love their matchups tonight outside. The speed of Isaiah Ford, and on the other side, the size of 6'7" Bucky Hodges.
So Ford already has a couple catches for 51 yards, and they're inside the red zone, where you figure number 7, Bucky Hodges, becomes such a huge factor. He is a tough matchup Shoulder fake, and this time toward Phillips, incomplete.
This is an area of the field that Pittsburgh's defense has to be good in tonight in the red zone. They've been very poor all year. They're allowing 77% of their opponent's drives in this area to end in touchdowns. They've got to be able to force field goals tonight, not allow scores as in touchdowns.
Second and 10. Virginia Tech, of course, can get a first down at the 3. Not a goal to go situation. And the play fake. Evans, that was not real clean. And he got back to the line of scrimmage no farther.
And sets up an obvious passing situation. So you got to put your eyes on Pitt defensive end Juan Price, number 5. He's one of the best pass rushers in the country. He's being subbed in the game right now. Leads the nation with 9 sacks. He is so explosive up the field and out of his stance. They must have a plan for Price.
A real test for young Joshua Nijman, who is the left tackle for the Hokies. Big number 7, Bucky Hodges, is on the far left of the formation. Evans is looking left, now looking middle. He's going to run, and Evans will not get close. The Pitt defense holds Matt Caprera, who is back and healthy after missing most of 4 games. Came up with the tackle to force what will likely be a field goal try.
And a nice job by this Pitt defense in the red zone where they've struggled most of the year. They give up that 2 explosive throws down the field to Isaiah Ford, put their backs against the wall. Playing good defense for head coach Pat Narduzzi.
31-yard try for Joey Sly, who's been very accurate inside 40 yards. This one is perfect, straight on through, and the Hokies take the ball first and get 3 on the board to take a 3-0 lead. So the Panthers will be getting the ball. Their offensive star is their tailback, James Conner, who was the ACC Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Since then has been through some incredible adversity. Let's learn a little more about James Conner.
I said, this is not going to be an easy road, but there's a very good chance that you can be cured.
Fear is a choice. The fear of dying. The fear of not playing again.
James Conner is dominating this game.
You can choose to fear him, or you can choose to attack him.
My dog James a warrior.
And that's what we did. But I wasn't gonna fear cancer. I choose to fight, I choose to win. So we all good? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Well, you can understand that that day in May will be one that James Conner never forgets. Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosed, went through chemotherapy, worked out with his team while undergoing chemotherapy, and pronounced cancer-free just a few months ago. Now back on the field playing at a high level once again. He and the Panthers will get the ball here. Quadri Henderson lost the ball, and the Hokies will have it. So James Conner is going to have to wait. Henderson lost it and recovered by Virginia Tech.
I think it was number 25, I think, for Tech. It's the true freshman wide receiver, Divine Diablo, coming down and forcing the fumble. Frank Beamer's number 25 jersey was retired, and this year they decided to give it to a different player on special teams each week. The first time a true freshman has ever worn their jersey number, and on the opening kickoff for Virginia Tech, the true freshman's the guy that goes down and forces a massive turnover deep in Pittsburgh territory.
So what a play. Diablo wearing that. That is an honorary number that changes every single week. And the true freshman made it. And it's for excellence on special teams. He won that jersey. By the way, he played on special teams last week. He might be a repeat. Number 25 next week. Fake handoff. Evans, keeper inside the 5. Down to about the 3.
I think that's a really good idea, and Virginia Tech should continue that. You know, you're facing a loaded box, stopping the run from Pitt's defense. So why not get the extra blocker advantage and use the quarterback runs? After all, he's probably their best short yardage runner. Gerard Evans is a quarterback at 240 pounds.
He is a big dude. Second and goal, Hokies after the turnover on the kick return. Virginia Tech had the ball first. kicked a field goal. And now a chance to expand their lead. Williams, the tailback, he'll get it, and just not a lot of room straight ahead, although those legs keep churning. He got a yard. So a big play early in this game. The Pitt defense trying to hold after the special teams turnover. 3rd and goal. Evans, option style, and another one of those shovel passes going nowhere. And Pitt had that defended well both times.
And it was Juan Price, number 5, leading the nation in sacks. You see his quickness as he was able to fire off the ball and get into the backfield. He's going to be lined up right here, slanting inside. Beats the tackle, McLaughlin. Half of Juan Price's tackles this year have been for a loss. This guy has been living in the opponent's backfield all season long. And after a huge turnover on a kick return, red zone defense for the Panthers has been outstanding early.
That's just a great job by the Pitt defense. The field goal is up and through. So the Hokies get points, but only 3. Maybe the nation's best kick returner, Quadri Henderson, a rare mistake by him, put the ball on the ground. Virginia Tech came up with it, but the Panthers defense forced the field goal. Juan Price, who's been tremendous with the tackle. It's 6-0 Tech. Connor's had to wait a while. We're almost halfway through the first quarter. Pitt has yet to run a play from scrimmage, hoping that his offense would be on the field. Here is Henderson, who fumbled on the first kickoff, and so far so good for the Hokies special teams. Henderson and the Pitt offense on the field. There's their quarterback, Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, he's a 5th-year senior, and he plays like it. I've been really impressed with his decision-making this year. Spent 3 years at Tennessee, transferred here to Pitt, started 11 games a year ago, but it's just smart. I think when things aren't open downfield, he takes off and runs. You see he's only thrown 2 interceptions, doesn't put the football in harm's way. This is not an explosive passing offense by any means, but he keeps them on schedule. And a big reason right now, they're scoring 38 points a game.
We will see all kinds of movement, misdirection. Henderson will come in motion on this first play, and they'll just give the ball to James Conner, who gets stuffed by Vinny Mahota. Let's welcome in on the sideline, Laura Rutledge.
Well, Dave, Nathan Peterman has really been trying to keep his hands warm down here. It's certainly chilly with the wind whipping. He's been breathing on them a lot, also keeping them in hand warmers. And he said right before they walked on the field, he looked at his guys and said, we have to score here. We don't have another choice.
Well, and it is interesting, Jesse. We're halfway through the first quarter. That was the first play that Pitt offense has run. So he's had a lot of time to get chilly on the sideline. Very fall-like evening in Pittsburgh. Play fake, immediately pressured, throwing across the middle and caught out at the 40. Nice catch by Quadri Henderson.
It was a really good job. Nathan Peterman bought himself some time. Right after the play fake, he backed up, got himself away from Vinny Mahota. There's Quadri Henderson, who fumbled the kickoff, making amends, getting down to the ground, making a tough catch.
Now there was a penalty flag. It kind of got lost in the shuffle, and it was an ineligible receiver downfield, which will negate that big gain.
2nd down.
So that's a big penalty against Pat Narduzzi's Pitt Panthers. He's trying to figure out who the penalty was against. Instead of the big gain, back inside the 10, 2nd and 15. Tight end Scott Orndorff, who could be a big weapon in the pass game, went in motion. Peterman sprinting right for the quick completion, short gain to Henderson.
I think one thing you can expect tonight, especially on 3rd down, is Virginia Tech to bring pressure against Nathan Peterman. Last week against Brad Kai in Miami, they blitzed a lot. They ended up sacking Brad Kai 8 different times. They were aggressive. Nathan Peterman can run a little bit, but I wouldn't call him a dynamic runner. I don't think it's going to scare Virginia Tech defensive coordinator Bud Foster from bringing the heat.
And Bud Foster, known for these kind of situations, he wants to bring the pressure. 3rd and 9. They will rush sort of a delayed 5. That one is intercepted. Over the middle, the receiver kind of stopped, and right there to pick it off for Virginia Tech is their safety, Mook Reynolds. Another Panthers turnover.
This looked like a miscommunication between Peterman and his receiver, Dantes Ford. Peterman throwing the ball further inside, and already the second giveaway in this game by Pitt.
Was first down, Virginia Tech. Under a minute to go, first quarter. Hodges came in motion. Evans handed it off to McMillan. It's not easy to run against Pitt.
And Juan Price just showed his athleticism. That time, Virginia Tech tried to have Bucky Hodges, their wide receiver, go in motion and block him. And the 6-foot-tall, 255-pound end, just way too athletic and way too quick. Get him outside here, that the Hodges just doesn't have a chance. He's able to run around him outside and force another tackle for loss. This guy, he might end up being the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He's already had that kind of season so far this season.
Virginia Tech looks content just to let the final seconds of the first quarter wind off, and that's what they will do. Well, he doesn't wear the knee guards. He cuts off his pants, but he's a pretty darn good player.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be the fashion police in football. I'm shocked that's even allowed, but hey, you play the way that Juan Price does, you wear whatever you want.
No kidding. And the Pitt defense is saving this game right now because a lot of mistakes, and yet it's only 6-0 Tech. Second quarter here on Thursday night in Pittsburgh. Big game in the Coastal Division of the ACC. Virginia Tech on the road with a 6-0 lead. A game that has really been dominated by the Hokies statistically. 22 plays run to 6 for the Panthers. Pitt has 12 total yards of offense. They've turned it over twice. Virginia Tech has run 15 plays in Pitt territory. The Panthers have yet to cross midfield, and yet it's a 6-0 score. Virginia Tech has the ball, second down and long as the second quarter gets started. Over the top toward Ford, and Ford, did he catch it? No, it gets knocked away. Now it may not have hit the ground. Ford thinks he has it. He does. Wow. That ball pinballed around, I think, off the Pitt defender and then rolled right back onto Isaiah Ford.
It was Felipe Motley that was going down to the ground with Isaiah Ford. He did a good job, I think, getting his hands in on this late to kind of swat it away. Did it ever touch the ground?
First down, handoff McMillan straight ahead for some positive yards inside the 10.
Yeah, McMillan's the most explosive running back that Virginia Tech has. To me, he's their best chance as he lost the cleat on that last play. He's got to sub out, but he's their best chance of hitting the home run. Had a big game last week against Miami with 131 rushing yards, and number 34 is the guy that they got to give the rock to.
Well, they need more touchdowns in the red zone. Evans keeps it. Evans got spun around inside the 5 to set up third down and about 3.
You know, I think you stay with that, with the power quarterback run game. It's such a big part of what Virginia Tech likes to do, and it's very seldom you see quarterbacks as big as Gerard Evans are. He's got a good feel for these inside zone runs, playing off the blocks and falling forward. This is where Pitt has been so good all night long. 3rd and 2. Evans again keeps it, and Pitt reads it beautifully. Idowu makes the tackle with some help. It'll be 4th down. You got to kick the field goal. You definitely need the points, and you got to make this a 2-possession game, but you have to be disappointed if you're Justin Fuente with your offense when you've had these sorts of opportunities. Joey Sly has already kicked 2 field goals. We'll try another one. This is the windier side of Heinz Field. It's the open side of the stadium. A short field goal, but the wind is swirling. That kick is up and good. So Sly is 3 for 3. Virginia Tech on the board once again, but 3 times, really 4 times well into Pitt territory. They have a total of 9 points to show for it. That kickoff moving way out of the end zone for a touchback. That just goes to show you which way the wind's blowing. Definitely blowing that way. That thing was a laser that cleared the end zone in about 2 seconds. By the way, Peterman keeps it after faking it to Connor. All right, so let's get the answer to that Aflac trivia question. Last time Clemson was the higher ranked team. Aflac. They were in Tallahassee, and the answer is 1989. Wow. You got to go back a lot farther. Man. Number 10 beat number 16. Been a while. It's like pre-Casey Weldon. Yeah, it tells you how good
Florida State's been, because Clemson's had so many good teams here in the last decade, especially even more recently than that. 2nd down and 6 for the Panthers, trying to put a drive together. Hand it off. Connor goes down to set up 3rd down.
Yeah, you're seeing so much shifting and motioning from this Pitt offense. They're constantly changing the picture up front. They motion receivers, tight ends. You're going to see offensive linemen shifting and motioning as well, constantly trying to out-leverage the defense and see if they can get you misaligned and create a crease for James Conner, one of these receivers on the jet sweep.
This is their shortest 3rd down of the game. They haven't converted a 3rd down yet. This is their best chance to do it, 3rd and 4. Trayvon Hill upright, the right defensive end. That one is caught for a 1st down. Weah out to the 45.
I think this is a guy that's going to have to make some plays. He's their best downfield target, but he's their most physical receiver at 6'3", 210 pounds, and good patience, taking his time, working the slant route, able to buy himself some separation and an open target for Nathan Peterman to throw to.
Had a huge game against Marshall, a guy who had never caught a ball in a game before this year, and he's become their best wide receiver. Henderson comes in motion on 1st down. Play fake. Downfield and caught by Henderson inside the 20.
I think this is something Pitt can continue to do. You know, watching them on film throughout the course of the year, they don't take a lot of real deep shots. This time they have Henderson in the slot, kind of working a double post concept. With his speed and quickness, he's able to clear the safety Chuck Clark. By far the best looking drive on offense for Pitt.
37-yard completion, first time across midfield, and to follow all the way down inside the 20 for the first time. Trailing 9-0. They're going to throw back toward the quarterback, and Peterman catches, takes a hit and goes out of bounds, but caught inside the 10.
Little trickeration from Pitt. You kind of expected that maybe. Remember a couple weeks ago, Virginia Tech, Syracuse had a big double pass in their win against the Hokies, and here Pitt dialing up a throwback pass from Trey Tipton. And how about the concentration? Right there, you got the corner, Adonis Alexander bearing down on Nathan Peterman. He didn't hear the footsteps. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure ultimately that's a great game plan to keep putting your quarterback in that spot. Connor, touchdown! And for all that has gone wrong in this game, it's the Panthers who are in the end zone first, and an extra point away from making it a 2-point Tech lead.
And a really nice seal block by George Aston. He kind of plays the hybrid fullback, H-back role. Key block on the backside against Trayvon Hill right here. We're kind of running the zone stretch forward to the front side of the play, and that block was able to sprint Connor, allowed him to get north-south.
Impressive. 8 plays, 84 yards, and the first team in the end zone tonight, despite all the chances for Virginia Tech, is Pitt. So they used a little bit of everything on that drive. The throw back to the quarterback from Tipton, and as Jesse said, that was good concentration from Peterman. And then their bell cow, James Conner, one of the most impressive kids in college football for the Pitt touchdown. Kickoff for Pitt is a shortish one. Stroman will take it around the 5. Across the 20, but stopped short of the 25. Great job there. Evans out to Phillips, who was wide open, and Phillips cuts it back in to get a first down and more.
Yeah, a bit of a coverage bust that time by Pitt. A nice job by Evans being able to find that. Here's bad news for Pitt.
Yeah.
One of their starting cornerbacks, Motley, he's down, and he's replacing Avonte Maddox, who missed their last game with an arm injury. He was not 100% tonight either. And in this scheme of defense, you need these corners to stay healthy and play.
See if Virginia Tech tries to pick on him across the middle. Hodges with the catch down into Panthers territory.
So they put the freshman out on Hodges, and they just decided to blitz him this time. He just goes in to put added pressure. That puts the safety, Whitehead, on Hodges. Throw a little bit behind, but you see the catch radius of the 6'7" wide receiver.
Well, Virginia Tech, in so many ways, they have dominated this first half, and yet their lead is only 2, 9-7. On the move once again. Handoff, straight ahead, power running. Pretty good gain on first down from Marshawn Williams.
Certainly really important here for Virginia Tech to try and recapture some of this momentum. They got to use this 2-minute situation to generate some points. Remember, Pitt is going to receive the ball first in the second half.
Dane Jackson trying to get organized. They will throw to the opposite side, and the ball is knocked away incomplete. Ended up, I think, being kicked by Ford. Ryan Lewis had good coverage.
Yeah, Ryan Lewis is the best cover corner that Pitt has, and this is what this staff needs from these corners in this game. Virginia Tech's going to keep taking the shots. There's a little bit of contact again, a little bit of a grab and pull of the jersey, but that's consistent tonight. The referees have let that go. Ryan Lewis has done a good job in his one-on-one opportunities.
So third down from very borderline field goal range.
They've got Isaiah Ford one-on-one with the safety or the freshman Jackson down here.
Pitt showing some pressure, picked up initially. Evans steps up and throws deep. It is incomplete, but a penalty flag. So not that time with all the contact. Once again, Ryan Lewis, and Pat Narduzzi's having a meltdown.
Well, and here's the irony about this flag, is that to me that was less contact.
Pass
on
interference.
Ryan Lewis.
Defense. Number 38. Automatic first down.
I mean, he's definitely grabbing the elbows and he's grabbing the arms, but in the previous 2 plays, we saw him grab the jersey, and I thought it impacted the play more than that right there. That's just not a consistent call, in my opinion, from what we've seen. I think that's Pat Narduzzi's issue.
And this will not officially be a red zone play. Evans play fake. Now looking to scramble. Evans, who can run to the 15 and goes out of bounds right near the first down mark. We'll see where they spot him, very close.
And this is one that Virginia Tech has to pay off now. 3 different times they've been down in the red zone. They've only been able to come away with field goals. You have to start turning these opportunities into touchdowns.
Now they've run 12 plays. This will be their 13th inside the 20-yard line, and they have just the 9 points to show for it. And first down from the 11. Play fake. And he's got a man wide open. Touchdown. Chris Cunningham, the tight end, and the Hokies for the first time are in the end zone.
Yeah, the play fake by Gerard Evans completely froze their linebacker, Mike Caprera, and that allowed Cunningham to run right by him. Number 30 right here is going to get frozen. They run the corner in behind it. Fake to Williams. The number 85, Chris Cunningham, that's only his 5th catch on the year, but his 3rd touchdown. He's not a guy they like to throw to very often out in the field, but he's been a great weapon for them at tight end down in the red zone.
7 plays, 76 yards. The big penalty call, an 11-yard touchdown catch. Extra point up and good for the Hokies. Really capitalized for the first time in the red zone. Now they did score with 2 minutes still to go. Pitt has plenty of chance to get down the field themselves and get some more points on the board.
That was a big drive, though, by Virginia Tech offensively. Good job, I think, showing tremendous composure. Pitt had just marched down the field on what was their best offensive drive of the game. They score a touchdown to James Conner. Then Virginia Tech able to turn right back around and answer and finally capitalize on a red zone opportunity. But you go back, it was Peterman throwing it vertically down the field, hitting Henderson. Then they rolled up the trickeration on the double pass. Trey Tipton, great catch by Peterman. And then, of course, Conner, the north-south physical running. Nice balance, I think, in that drive as well. And I think it's important now for Pat Narduzzi in this offense, though, to continue being willing to take shots down the field and trusting in a big physical receiver like Jester Weah to go up and win the one-on-one shots and taking advantage of Quadri Henderson's speed out in space. You got one of the most dangerous kick returners in the game. Henderson's taken 3 kicks back in his last 8 games. The problem, though, right now, this is the direction the wind's going in, and whenever either of these 2 teams has kicked this way, it's been touchbacks.
You did see Pat Narduzzi without the headset on. I think he might have broken it when he was so upset with the penalty. They might have had to get him a replacement. They've got the replacement on now, or at least fixed the old headset. You hate to see that. Motley clearly hurting, defensive back. They will miss him if he's not in there, and it doesn't seem like he will be for the rest of this game. That one is returnable for the dangerous Henderson. And around the 5. Try to get to the corner, tripped up. Nice tackle out of the open field. They are not typically a hurry-up style offense. They certainly haven't been in this game, but there's the tight end wide open across the middle for a huge gain. Still going to the 20 and out of bounds at the 10, Scott Orndorff.
We saw Gerard Evans use the play action to throw a touchdown pass moments ago. This time it's Nathan Peterman with the play fake, and it completely freezes Andrew Motua-Puaka, the middle linebacker, 54. That opened up the lane for the athletic Orndorff. At 6'5", 255 pounds, showing you the wheels and the vertical passing game coming alive now for the Pitt offense.
71 yards. They got plenty of time now. In fact, now they might like to milk a little clock. First and goal, 1:43 to go until halftime. Connor stopped initially, and now he is stopped short of the goal line.
And you got 2 timeouts in your back pocket. You don't necessarily, Peterman's looking over. Do we use one now? Do you want to save the time? I'd be using him, I think, if I was Pitt. I want to give myself all the time possible here to get the right play call. Now, you expect them to run it again with Connor. He's a leaper. He's a guy that likes to jump down here on the goal line. Look at all this time they're wasting, though.
Under 20 seconds now. They will hand it to Connor. Touchdown. The penalties in each of the last 2 drives, one against each side, have been huge. And that pass interference helps Pitt get in the end zone. Second touchdown of the night for James Conner.
Their offense has just come alive now in these last 2 drives. A lot of confidence they should have going into halftime. We talked about this being a must-win game for both teams here in the ACC Coastal, and we've got a good one.
Extra point is good. We've got a 2-point game once again. Pitt's going to have the ball to start the second half. 16-14, the halftime score. We'll hear from Pat Narduzzi with Laura in a moment, but now the Land Rover halftime report.
Thanks, Coach. What allowed your offense to be more productive on those last 2 drives?
Well, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. I mean, we jump off sides. They're making move calls. We really don't, have control of the game, I guess, at this point. But, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, whether we run downfield on a naked and give up a big 3rd down conversion. We just got to play our football and win.
You mentioned the penalties. How do you correct that in the second half?
Well, we got to be more disciplined, and they got to call them both ways too.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN on this Thursday night in Pittsburgh, where the Hokies of Virginia Tech, 25th ranked team of the country, have a 2-point lead at halftime, 16-14. Before the game, we heard from the Pitt head coach, Pat Narduzzi, talk to his team about the keys to the game. Let's revisit that.
We got physically, number 1, physically out-tough them, okay? Physically out-tough them. Pride, paint the pride. Physically, get after them. That's the key. We got to outrush them. Okay, got to outrush them. O-line, physical blocks, violent physical blocks. Receivers, you block too. It'll set everything else up. D-line, hammer the ball all day long. Okay, hammer the ball, get it out, make some big plays, fly to the ball. Somebody understand that? Okay, that's how we win. Okay.
All right, Dave Fleming, Jesse Palmer back with you. That was pregame. So how did the coach and his team do executing his keys to the game?
So I think he wants them to be physical.
Yes,
I think that's probably the key. So I think defensively, I think for the most part, I think Pitt has been pretty physical. Yeah, they've given up some big plays on the outside in the passing game, but with their backs against the wall in the red zone, they've been phenomenal. In 4 trips, Virginia Tech's only scored 1 touchdown. Offensively, they haven't been overly physical. They're struggling right now to run the ball. They don't yet have 40 yards rushing in the game. But I thought the end of that first half, half. They started making explosive plays, throwing the ball downfield vertically. The physicality is not the issue. I think they do need to play smarter. 2 turnovers in that first half. They had 5 critical penalties in that first half. If they play smarter in the second half, they're going to give themselves an opportunity, I think, to win this game.
In some ways, Pitt sort of ham and egged it, where their defense held up early when Virginia Tech had the ball deep in their territory 3-4 times early in the game, didn't break, and then the offense came to life. And now that Panthers offense will be on the field. Laura Rutledge just a moment ago talked to the Virginia Tech head coach Justin Fuente.
Thanks, Coach. How can your offense be more productive in the red zone?
Well, no, it's tough sledding in there. There are a bunch of guys in the box. They do a great job defensively. We'll have to make some plays on the outside to hopefully loosen some things up a little bit.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
And in a lot of ways, that really was the key to the game. They did get in the end zone one time, but they had chances to have a lot more than 16 points. So credit the Pitt defense for that. Now the Panthers offense to start the third quarter with the ball. A very big game in the Coastal and the ACC. A throwback to the tight end, who was a huge target in the first half, and it'll be another big gain for Scott Orndorff.
It's not necessarily a trick play, but there is a lot of misdirection. Pitt's been very good at that, I think, here in the first half. We saw a double pass earlier by Trey Tipton. This time a roll up by Peterman, throwing back to his tight end Orndorff, wide open down the sideline. And we talked about the explosive plays in the pass game. Pitt coming out and throwing the ball.
He's got 2 catches for 96 yards.
It's a good day at the office
for the tight end. Now they'll hand it off. James Conner, nice spin move. Conner breaks another tackle, still on his feet. He is tough to bring down.
So physical at 6'2", 235 pounds, and he's the type of running back that gets stronger as the game goes on. So he's one of those guys, you feed him more when defenses start to wear down. James Conner does not. It'll be a big key here in the second half of this offense as well.
Each of these teams 5-2, both teams with 1 conference loss. On the Coastal side, Tech has the tiebreaker advantage. They beat North Carolina, the other team with 1 loss in that division in the ACC. Peterman was thinking about throwing it. Now he runs it. Peterman gets a nice gain, close, but stopped a yard short.
And it's a way that Nathan Peterman helps keep this offense on schedule, and it's good decision making. The throw's not available down the field. Nathan Peterman's a really good athlete. He can take off and run and get positive yardage and make these third downs manageable.
I do think Pitt's offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, has done a really good job. Pitt's been an explosive offense this year, not a program not known for that, and they've made some adjustments in game tonight that have been impressive. Conner, first down and more. Conner to the 20, inside the 10.
There's really good vision by James Conner finding the cutback lane. Defensive end Kenna Canham, number 4, was watching this down all the way here. Never stayed home. He tried to take on the block, but never located the football. And it was James Conner with great vision, putting his foot in the ground. Maybe after that MCL injury last week, doesn't quite have the top end speed back just yet. Still one of the best running backs in the country.
First and goal, Pitt trying to take a lead for the first time in this game. And they will hand it off. Left side running the fullback, who is a tough runner. That's George Aston, stopped short of the goal line.
I think Virginia Tech has done such a good job so far defensively of taking the jet sweep away from Pitt. That's been Pitt's most explosive play all season long, but Bud Foster's done a good job coaching his guys up. They played great tonight from the defensive end position, but the safeties have done really good, I think, getting involved, getting close to the line of scrimmage, and tackling guys in the open field.
We usually call it the jet sweep when it's the fullback. I don't know. James Conner, powerful, stopped short. But you're right about that point about how they have defended that play, which has been so productive. I mean, if you go back and watch the Penn State game, they just destroyed the Nittany Lions over and over again with that kind of play.
I haven't seen an offense run as many jet sweeps as Pitt has this year. Here's an interesting situation on the 1-yard line. James Conner in their backfield, one of the better offensive lines in the ACC. Keep it on the ground.
I think it's 4-down territory, and you give it to him twice. Try to punch it in. Conner, touchdown! His 3rd of the night. And the Panthers have their first lead.
And that's all James Conner. The offensive line got him one-on-one with a linebacker at the point of attack. It was Andrew Matua-Puaka, 233 pounds. He's a big physical linebacker in his own right, but James Conner, he just runs right through the contact. He's able to find those hidden yards. Yards after contact, always falling forward. The ACC Player of the Year from 2 years ago already has his third rushing touchdown.
Well, that was impressive for Pitt. 7 plays right down the field into the end zone. And the Panthers have taken control of this game. 3 touchdowns, all 3 so far tonight for number 24.
The drive started with an explosive pass play down the field, but to get back to the ground game, that's good news for this Pitt offense, leading 21-16 here at the start of the third quarter.
It's not quite Halloween, but it's close. So some of the students have come in costume tonight. So Panther, Pink Panther.
Are you a Halloween guy? Do you get dressed up?
Well, when you live in the cities that you and I live in, you kind of have to be a Halloween guy. Maybe throw New Orleans in. Greg Stroman with the kick return out to the 21. Let's go downstairs to Laura Rutledge.
Well, Dave, throughout this game, the wind has been a huge factor on both sides, and I talked to both teams at halftime about it. They said you really can't predict it. When you're looking at the flags, it's not a great representation because it's swirling around, and it's even maybe at its most ridiculous in the middle of the field. So both teams having to deal with it. And, of course, when I was talking about it's the first time tonight that my hair hasn't been blowing everywhere, but I promise it's windy down here.
It's unpredictable.
Cue. Just on cue, Laura.
We needed the fan. Evans to Phillips on first down. It'd be interesting to see if Virginia Tech, I mean, they tried to get that ground game going, and it just was not happening.
You know, you're banging your head against the wall against an 8-9-man box for Pitt's defense. Again, the big play opportunities come on the outside, and Pitt's not backing out of this defense. Press coverage by the corners. The one-on-one shots are going to be there. The question is, how often are they going to take those shots?
Williams shuffles over to the left side of Evans, who throws back shoulder, caught by Isaiah Ford.
He really, to me, is the definition of a go-to receiver because he runs good routes. He's got good hands. He's got the speed to run by you, but at 6'2", he's got body control and he has the ability to elevate and high point the football as well. And that's one of the key matchups. He's been winning a lot of his one-on-ones outside.
First down, Phillips with some blockers out in front, straight ahead, and tough running from Cam Phillips.
Seems like Virginia Tech's just kind of gotten away from even trying to run inside anymore. It's just almost a wasted play. So why don't you just spit the football out on a bubble screen to Cam Phillips? It's basically like a sweep anyway. It's the extension of a running play. Just try your luck outside. You'll have better chances.
I'm with you. Replace the run game with those quick passes. Hand off straight ahead and a nice gain up the middle with a shifty move. Marshawn Williams, first down, Virginia Tech.
A really nice lead block there by Sam Rogers, who's probably the most versatile player on this offense for Virginia Tech. Nice ISO block, and that gave the cutback to Marshawn Williams.
Play fake. Evans will throw incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Bucky Hodges.
That time just a little bit too high. I mean, Hodges is 6'7", but I mean, Manute Bol has a problem bringing that one in.
And it seems funny to say because Hodges has over 50 yards receiving. Relatively quiet so far.
Ryan Lewis, 38. You know, he's had his hands full at times at cornerback, but again, he's the safer option in coverage for Pitt.
Fake that fly sweep, and they'll try Hodges again. Another jump ball, and he comes down with it inside the 10.
He just has so much body control for a guy his size and his ability to play it in space. This guy was a tight end when he started his career at Virginia Tech, and there's still a lot of fighting and hand checking going on, but that's just a tough deal to have to match up with when you're only 6 feet tall at cornerback.
So first and goal, Hokies, who've been mostly just airing it out on this drive. They will play fake it. Evans to Ford, incomplete.
The amazing thing to me is how Pittsburgh does not get out of the defense. When they've given up big shots, they just refuse to change. They're not going to play big zone coverages and start giving these guys outside zone coverage help, double team help.
I mean, you think about all the defensive back talent Pat Narduzzi had at Michigan State, and he just had partially because of injury. He does not have that talent here at Pitt yet.
Not yet.
And yet they stay with that style of defense. And they might go right back to Ford on second and goal. Instead, they hand it off, going nowhere.
Now, one thing we haven't seen a lot from Virginia Tech on offense down here deep in the red zone is Bucky Hodges staying on the field and throwing those jump ball fade routes to a 6'7" receiver. Most of this game, he's come out in these scenarios, and they've tried to run the ball. They threw the touchdown pass to the tight end Chris Cunningham on a bootleg, but he's been winning those jump ball opportunities, and this is an area of the field with small windows. And why not give him another shot?
Third and goal for the Hokies. Play clock down to 2. Evans will look to run, and he's going down. Pulled down from behind. Quentin Wirgenis, who's made a couple of really impressive plays in this game, and now Evans is hurting. And that would be terrible news for Virginia Tech. Now he is sitting up. I don't know if you could say good sign.
And Wirgenis coming in from the right-hand side, number 58. Uses that inside move and brings him down. It kind of looked like maybe he rolled up on the back of his legs when he was tackling Gerard Evans. And you're right, he was right on the back of that right leg and ankle. Right away, Evans started riding, grabs that leg. Oh, and he's being helped off the field right now. Not on his own strength. Stay tuned.
The backup quarterback for Virginia Tech, Brendan Motley, played a lot of football last year for the Hokies, but Evans has been a big-time difference maker. Miller slide, field goal is good. Well, that may well have been a very damaging play in a lot of ways. They don't get in the end zone again in the red zone, and then they have to kick the field goal. Before that, their quarterback gets hurt. Hokies down 21-19. Pretty cool view where the three rivers come together across into Heinz Field, coming down the Duquesne Incline in this beautiful city of Pittsburgh.
This is one of, I love Pittsburgh as a city. I think one of the more underrated cities in America. Great, phenomenal sports city. Really good food city. I was thinking food and sports, so I said sports.
And they do have the fort right down where we can see it too.
I love how you
They
just
got
know,
both.
you know the geography, you know all the names of the rivers and the inclines.
Yeah, just don't try to say Monongahela too many times. Let's see if we can get an update on Gerard Evans with Laura.
Well, Dave, Gerard Evans in a lot of pain over here on the Virginia Tech sideline, and they are looking at that right ankle. He's pointing to the lower part of his ankle, saying that's where the most of his pain is. I'll keep you guys updated as we find out more.
Okay, let's see if we can see.
Yeah, just kind of got caught underneath the body, I think, of Quentin Wirgenis there on that tackle. So now you're the backup quarterback, Brendan Motley, and you're taking snaps from the center and you're getting yourself loose.
Well, Gerard Evans has just been so good for the Hokies. Now the play fake, Peterman keeps it. That totally fooled Virginia Tech. Now he fumbles the ball, but recovers his own fumble. Motua Poaka, I think, stripped it, but Peterman got it back.
There have been a lot of very fortuitous bounces for Pitt, and I remember they had that fumble at the end of the first half that they were able to fall on as well. And Motua Poaka, that's the second forced fumble now he's had in this game. He's doing a good job chasing this play down, hacking at the ball, and Peterman extremely fortunate.
Yeah, he was the guy who fumbled that one you were referencing near the end of the first half. The Pitt offense finding big plays now. 8.7 yards per play. That's a good number. Henderson gets just annihilated by Chuck Clark, the safety. That jet sweep, you said it, has not worked for Pitt.
The safeties are doing such a good job of reacting. The jet sweep's coming this way. Watch Clark come down and meet it right at the point of attack. He sees the motion. He just starts hitting downfield. The outside player, number 6, Mook Reynolds, does a good job with his leverage, forcing the football back inside, and a good solid tackle out in space by Chuck Clark. He is a tackling machine. Had 107 tackles last year, having another phenomenal season on defense for the Hokies.
They've run 4 of those sweeps, a total of -2 yards. Peterman downfield, one-on-one, incomplete. And no penalty flag. The official started, I thought, to get ready to throw the flag face on with the coverage.
Yeah, I thought that time Dantes Ford just fell down. Good news for Pitt, they get Dantes Ford back. He's a big physical receiver, hurt his collarbone against Penn State. This is his first game action. There's a hand on the jersey, you know, a little bit of a tug, nothing too big, but I don't think the tug is what forced Ford to the ground.
Well, we've seen a lot worse than that in this game.
I think it just goes back to consistency, Dave. I think both of these coaches, we've seen Narduzzi upset, we've seen Bud Foster upset.
Upset is one word for that. Here's a handoff, another one of those jet sweeps. Man, Virginia Tech has played that better by far than anybody that Pitt has played all year.
Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds, I think, number 49, is the best NFL prospect that Virginia Tech has on defense. It's rare to see athletes that are 6'5", 235 pounds, that play as well in space as number 49 does. That guy can blitz, he can run, he can cover. He's going to have a long career in the NFL.
So that's big hold for the Hokies defense. 4th and 12. Ryan Winslow, the punter. Stroman is back right around the 10-yard line. That may be returnable. Stroman will take it at the 10. Trying to get outside with his speed. He got a block. Stroman all the way across the 40. A big return.
Stroman on the return.
And now the big question will be, who's coming in at quarterback position? Still a good punt return from Greg Stroman, but they'll start at the 30, and it will be the senior Brendan Motley, who is a big, strong kid who has played a lot of football.
And he's very athletic too. 6'3", 225 pounds. He can run, in my opinion, probably a little bit more of a sudden runner than Gerard Evans. He's only attempted 14 throws on the season.
They're going to pitch back to Ford, who might want to throw. Instead, he's going to run with room in front of the blocker. Ford picking his way, and now he sort of picks up the speed and accelerates down close to the 20. Nijman, the left tackle, was out there leading the way, and he showed his athleticism.
Yeah, and this is something in the offense Virginia Tech has done. I mean, they'll let Isaiah Ford on reverse passes. You give him an opportunity to throw it. How about the athleticism by the left tackle getting downfield, picking up blocks?
He's a big dude who's got a lot of talent. 1st and 10, Virginia Tech. Motley rolling, looking for somewhere to throw the ball, and he throws it away.
So
now a little more information on Evans with Laura.
The athletic trainers have decided that he is okay to go back in the game. Gerard Evans, they said he's pushing off good enough, and they said the ankle injury is not that bad.
But for the moment, still on the sideline. 2nd and 10, Hokies. Down near the 20 of Pitt. Motley will throw toward Hodges, and it's incomplete. Hodges had a chance and couldn't catch it.
So there's a play where Jackson that time's grabbing the jersey again, and this time they don't call pass interference. We've seen guys grab jerseys, get called. They're not grabbing jerseys. They're not getting called. Watch here. He's grabbing with the right arm. So how's that not pass interference? There's a little bit of a push-up. That's a catch, by the way, Bucky Hodges should make.
Got to catch that.
Good throw by Motley. I'll tell you what, they're testing this freshman, making a big play.
Why wouldn't they do it again? Motley instead will keep it, and Pitt saw that coming.
They've had no success tonight on offense with the quarterback run.
None.
Down in the red zone on 3rd down. Pittsburgh has completely bottled that up. They've been relying so heavily on their kicker, Joey Sly, who's 4 for 4 tonight in field goals. He's a guy that's 18 straight from less than 40 coming into this game. Now 22 in a row. He's been automatic inside 40 yards.
And this one will be a 37-yard try for Sly. The kick is up and good. So he has been perfect all game. Virginia Tech back in front, 22-21. The fans are just thrilled with the way this game's been officiated. Quadri Henderson, who's been maybe the most explosive kick returner in college football, has not gotten free tonight. In fact, he's turned the ball over on a kick return. Part of it is Joey Sly's been kicking it over his head.
He's passionate. He's emotional.
He fights for his guys. You understand that.
And we heard him in his pregame speech. I mean, it's about fire, and these players love playing for him.
But it really is almost like Pitt on defense dares you to make the call every single time. And that's how they play. Peterman throws, almost intercepted. What a break on the ball by Greg Stroman.
Yeah, you want to be careful throwing on Greg Stroman and being late. This guy is mega athletic. Not just a very good cornerback, but he returns kicks, returns punts. The last couple of years, he's also played wide receiver. He's punted the ball a couple times this year for Virginia Tech. Phenomenal athlete with great feet and ball skills. Do not want to be late throwing to his side.
2nd and 10, Pitt nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. Hokies lead by 1. James Conner straight ahead. And that powerful forward lean to get the extra yards to set up 3rd and short.
Those are the hidden yards that he gives this offense. How many times do you see running backs try to run around that tackle, put their feet in the ground, try to go east-west, and James Conner just keeps going north. He picks up an extra 3-4 yards on the run, making the 3rd down so much more manageable. This offense has been at its best throwing when they moved the pocket. I think Nathan Peterman's very good on the run. Try to use some of that misdirection with some nakeds and boots. See if they use it here.
3rd and 3. Peterman looking middle, incomplete. Trying to find Weah. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, not easy in man-to-man situations against the corners from Virginia Tech. They've got 3 guys in Alexander, Stroman, and Faison that are long, tall, like to play press coverage, make it very difficult for wide receivers to get any space.
Well, Greg Stroman, you talked about the athleticism on defense. We saw a good punt return last time he had a chance. This one end over end is going to bounce short of Stroman. He will take it on a bounce though, and he made a man miss. Got some extra yardage out across the 30. Finally made some good passes. That one series he was in there, but the starter is back in with the ankle. We'll watch the ankle. Evans throws, and Hodges adjusts to the ball to make the catch.
But Gerard Evans has done a better job putting air under the ball on the deep throws. He's really been good at allowing his receivers to turn around and locate the football. How does that right foot, that right ankle look? You know, you don't have to push off a lot when you're kind of putting a lot of air under it, just kind of throwing it downfield. It's a good plan for a guy that might not be 100% throwing it.
Virginia Tech back across midfield. Final minute plus of the quarter, handoff. And that's Williams. They've really gone away from Trayvon McMillan. He's not playing a lot of snaps.
I do think, though, Dave, now with the injury, that Virginia Tech is a lot more predictable because you're not worried or threatened by Evans running it on you. You expect the handoff, and I think Pittsburgh defensively can change schematically and sell out to stop the runs to the running backs.
It is a huge part of his game. He ran for almost 100 yards against Miami last week. Another back shoulder throw. Isaiah Ford with the catch for a 1st down along the sideline.
I watched Deshaun Watson from Clemson tear up Auburn's secondary in week 1 of the season with these back shoulder throws, and right now Gerard Evans is in a very good groove throwing to the back shoulder of his wide receivers as well. These are not easy throws to make, and Evans has been deadly active.
Nice play by Ford. He's got 8 catches, 117 yards. Evans moving around a little bit there, going for Phillips in stride with the catch down inside the 5. What a delivery from Gerard Evans with the bad ankle.
And on the run, and he has to jump off of that right foot, try to get this ball up in the air. How impressive has this drive been? This is the last drive because the injury comes right back on, and look at these explosive throws down the field.
Now we'll see if they can get it in the end zone. It's been so difficult for them. Williams, touchdown Hokies.
It's moments like that, I think, for Gerard Evans, how you gain leadership and trust, and it's the things you just can't fake that. When you gut it out, when you're not 100% in a massive game like this on the road, a place where Virginia Tech has never won before, you're making the plays that Gerard Evans has made. He's made a lot all year. That might be the most impressive drive I've seen of him yet in 2016.
But when he went down with the injury, you thought the worst. I mean, he looked to be seriously hurt. And he's back in the game, and he led the Hokies on a touchdown drive. Joey Sly has had a great night kicking off.
Is that a field goal? Did that go through?
I think it was wide left.
No, I think it went through.
You do?
Yeah.
Problem, 7 seconds to go. In the 3rd quarter, James Conner gets the carry, and Conner down the sideline. They need to give him the ball more. On the final play of the 3rd quarter, a very positive play for the Panthers. Well, We have a heck of a game going here in Pittsburgh. 2 one-loss teams in conference play with a lot at stake. Maybe the toughest kid in college football, James Conner. Can he and the Panthers come from behind at home in the 4th quarter? They're down 29-21. James Conner has moved into 2nd place all-time in the storied history of Pitt football, behind only the all-time great, one of the greatest running backs in the history of this sport, Tony Dorsett, on that career rushing list in Panthers history. And James Conner's long run has moved Pitt to the 35 of Virginia Tech as we start the 4th quarter. Just a minute in to the 4th quarter. Pitt with the ball down 8. Peterman to Conner with the big hole. James Conner inside the 10 down to the 5. He's amazing.
Yeah, and again, behind this offensive line and their ability to get some movement and get some push and create some cutback lanes for Conner with his own schemes. This is an O-line again. We talked about the experience. They communicate so well. They work double teams so well. And that's a big reason why they're averaging 239 rushing yards a game, 2nd in the ACC. It is a good unit playing against a very good front 7 for Virginia Tech.
2 big run plays. It's 1st and goal. Henderson in motion. They fake it and then give it to the offensive lineman. O'Neal, touchdown. Well, Brian O'Neal now has caught a touchdown pass and he's run for 6.
He's one of the most athletic offensive linemen, and this time Pitt hit him with an unbalanced look. He's normally a right tackle. Watch him line up over here at left tackle. We talk about the jet sweeps and the reverses and how that's a big part of this offense. Hadn't seen it yet handed off to the big fella. He had about a 25-yard touchdown catch on a screen against Georgia Tech earlier this season. Not many 6'6", 300-pound guys move as well as he does.
A 2-point try here. Peterman in the shotgun with Conner alongside.
That's the rollout throw.
He's going to shovel it. Conner gets the 2.
I love the play call by Matt Canada. You're seeing a ton of creativity right now, play calling on offense, and they're bringing a wide receiver. I think it was Quandre Henderson in motion, which kind of signifies that the Pitt's going to roll out to the right. So here's the motion coming from this side. Everyone thinks the roll's coming here, and they start that way, but they got James Conner running the shovel, staying behind. Nice job by Peterman holding on to it to the last second. How much fun would it be to be an offensive lineman playing in this offense? You're shifting, you're motioning, you're getting reverses. They can throw it to you.
And I want to, your point is a good one. A lot of defensive head coaches put some handcuffs on their offensive guys and say, look, we want to be a defensive-oriented team. And Pat Narduzzi has said, you do what you do. I'm leaving you alone. And he has let him be creative. The result has been an explosive offense. Tie game, 4th quarter, with a lot on the line. So this is what you ask for. Big conference game. Hokies looking for a breakthrough win on the road. Evans on the move. And that one is incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind Phillips.
Yeah, I think one of the big challenges Fuente had for his team too this week was, hey guys, play well on the road. Something they haven't really been able to do this year. Weren't great up in Bristol when they lost to Tennessee. Obviously not good in Syracuse when they lost. Beat North Carolina in a monsoon on the road, but Fuente thought there were more Hokie fans in the crowd than there were Tar Heels fans. Here you are now. Tie game, 4th quarter in a stadium your team's never won in. How do you respond?
Evans throws downfield. Hodges with the catch. He got a little separation. The ball again was right on the money.
And that was the right throw. True freshman DeMar Hamlin in the game. He finds the matchup he wants, Bucky Hodges, and Bucky Hodges beat Hamlin so bad off the line that instead of the sky moon ball where he's thrown it behind him and allowed his receivers to come back with the back shoulder, he threw it out in front. Hodges makes a great catch.
This time Hodges open, cuts it middle to the 15, inside the 15.
And he's working against this true freshman and DeMar Hamlin, who I think one day has a chance to be a really good player, but doesn't have the confidence to play press coverage against a 6'7" receiver. Hard to blame him. He's giving him a lot of cushion, and Gerard Evans, he's just picking his matchup every snap. Which guy do I want to throw to? Because right now they're both winning.
So Hodges has 145 yards. Ford has 127 yards receiving for Virginia Tech. Evans playing on the bad ankle to Hodges, and incomplete. Both guys fighting for the ball. That time it was Dane Jackson with the coverage.
You know, you just think about all the great defenses that Narduzzi had at Michigan State when Darquez Dennard and Trey Waynes were first-round cornerbacks, because they had guys that could shut these kind of throws down. Maybe one day Dane Jackson will be that guy too. There's more jersey pull. That's been pass interference tonight.
Yeah.
Why is it not pass interference right there?
It should be. They dare you to call it every time, and then they go nuts when you do call it, but that's pass interference. Evans, does he have any juice on that ankle? Well, a little bit. He goes into the slide, he comes up limping.
Yeah, and you know, if he's healthy, I don't think he slides.
No.
I think the 240-pound guy falls forward and maybe gets the first down, maybe scores a touchdown. Listen, this guy's gutting it out right now. Not 100%. It really hasn't affected his accuracy throwing it, but you see it does take a toll on his ability to run.
He is really hurting after that scramble. Only 3 of 10 on third down. This is a big one here. 3rd and 4. The fake? No, they gave it to Phillips, who got knocked down.
I just don't understand why Virginia Tech continues to try and run the football down in the red zone against 9 guys in the box. It has never worked. You have the same one-on-one matchup outside you've had all night. You've had success throwing those one-on-one fade balls. Why do you keep running it and running your head into the wall?
Joey Sly has a chance to tie an ACC record. He's 5 for 5 kicking field goals. I'm with you. And who knows, maybe on that one particular play call, maybe they thought Evans was too hurt to even throw a fade. I don't know. But they've tried it, and it just has not worked. That one is good. He's tied an ACC record, which has not been good news for the Hokies. They've had tons of chances in the red zone, and they've settled for 3 a lot. They're up by 3. With 9:39 to go on the road at Pitt. The Panthers come up with another big 3rd down stop and force the field goal. Virginia Tech on the road back ahead 32-29, 9:39 to go here in the 4th quarter in Pittsburgh.
That's called a segue. That's impressive. Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. Broken tackle. Henderson out of bounds around the 20. Now we'll see if Tech makes the adjustment. Connor trying to make a cut there and has to go down. Well played by Clark and company to set up 3rd down.
This offensive line has really protected Peterman very well. Remember, Virginia Tech had 8 sacks against Miami a week ago. This offensive line, in 10 dropbacks, Peterman's only been hurried twice, only been hit twice. These are the third down scenarios that Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator for the Hokies, he likes to bring pressure and blitz. They just have not been able to get home. You got to give this offensive line at Pitt a ton of credit.
That's pretty amazing. 8 sacks last week, none so far tonight. 3rd and 7. Peterman with time again. Peterman this time gets hit. It will not be a sack officially. It was more a coverage play anyway. It will be 4th down.
Yeah, there was phenomenal coverage down the field. In a man-to-man situation. Bud Foster loves that, trying to get his guys off now. That's a huge stop they needed. Get the football back in good field possession, but they do have the wind behind them here on this punt.
In a way, they're kind of leaving the base defense out there just in case. I know it's deep in Pitt territory, but it's 4th and 3. They will punt it, and it's a real short punt. It's going to land and take a Virginia Tech bounce. Not a real good punt. Hokies will get good field position, and can Gerard Evans gut it out? He's going to try. 7:51 to go. Tech leads by 3. The head coach here at Pitt is pretty passionate.
Yeah, he's been getting a workout in and a sweat on the sideline. It's been kind of agony and ecstasy. The good and the bad. Can't question his fire, I'll say that. These players do play very hard for them. They respond. They're in a dogfight right now in a critical game in the ACC Coastal Division.
Winner stays with just one conference loss. North Carolina also on this side of the ACC with one league loss. Juan Price and the defense, they need to stop. Great field position for the Hokies. Gerard Evans playing on a bad ankle. Play fake is going to throw deep again. Phillips adjusts to the ball, and Phillips comes up with it. Man, these receivers for the Hokies are making one big play after another.
And most of them have been on the outside against the cornerbacks. This time, Gerard Evans decides to work the slot with Phillips working against Terrace Webb at safety. It was another underthrown ball that his wide receiver able to adjust to.
So right back inside the 20. Evans on the move, and that one almost intercepted. Maybe should have been by Webb.
That's one that Terrace Webb's going to wish he had back. And Gerard Evans was late throwing the ball to the corner on the smash route. That ball had to come out earlier, and that hit Webb right in the hands. You know, that last week we saw in Miami, you know, a ball that Evans threw that should have been intercepted as well, that was dropped. He has a lot of velocity and a lot of arm strength, no doubt. Not easy to catch, but that's one that Pitt has to come up with.
He's got 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions all year, Evans, but he has been lucky these last couple weeks. Gonna throw over the top again, and it is caught. Touchdown, Isaiah Ford. A record-setting touchdown for number 1. And a highlight play will check to make sure he actually made the grab.
Yeah, we saw a play on the sideline earlier where he didn't catch it clean right away. They ended up overturning the call to an incomplete pass. He didn't catch this one clean right away either. Back shoulder throw. The concentration, that's a catch.
Wow.
Why would you stop taking those shots? Finally down in the red zone, they do it. Remember, they had been running the football so many times into that 8-9 man front. You just trust one of the best wide receivers outside. Makes a record-tying catch. And how about the performance of Gerard Evans tonight?
Yeah, he just broke the record. 23 touchdowns receiving, most all-time in Virginia Tech history. Isaiah Ford. The Hokies are up by 10, 39-29. And in his career, he hadn't had many more spectacular than that one.
No doubt about it. Big play, and all of the pressure now back on Nathan Peterman and the Pitt offense. Climb back in this game.
Fun, entertaining, kind of wild game tonight here in Pittsburgh. And the Hokies on the road with a 10-point lead. We'll kick it off, and another touchback from Joey Sly. He's had a tremendous night.
And for Nathan Peterman in this Pitt offense, you don't have to panic yet.
That throw caught, looked like by Weah right along the sideline, and it was a catch.
That's what I'm talking about there, Dave. You know, you got a guy that's 6'3". You know, just like Virginia Tech's doing, throwing those jump balls in one-on-one scenarios. You can take those too for Nathan Peterman and trust that your big receiver is going to come back and make a play.
Out there against Faison, the cornerback. Under 4 minutes to go. Peterman throws middle, caught. And a broken tackle by Ford. Gets inside Virginia Tech territory. In fact, inside the 40, down to the 39.
More of this vertical passing from Peterman, doing a nice job under pressure, keeping his focus and vision deep down the field, able to find Ford.
Thing for Pitt here is it's a 2-score game. You also might have that decision to make. Do you kick a field goal? This one across the middle, another completion to Dantes Ford.
And again, this offensive line is giving Peterman really good, clean pockets to throw from.
That throw is almost intercepted. Stroman, another great break on the ball. Incomplete, stops the clock.
You know, Bud Foster has been content to just kind of sit back and play these zone coverages. This ball obviously underthrown, a little bit behind on an out-breaking route. That's dangerous. Almost scooped up for the 4th interception on the season for Stroman. And I just wonder if Bud Foster's willing at some point to dial up some more heat again. Hasn't been able to get home a lot. In a situation like this, you sacrifice an extra defender, try and get after the quarterback.
They do bring an extra pass rusher, but picked up nicely. And that one across the middle, another missed tackle inside the 10. This is Trey Tipton, the redshirt freshman. His first and goal, Pitt.
Yeah, you mentioned that the pass protection pickup. It was the running backs and linemen just doing a great job working off each other. keeping Peterman clean. Really impressed with this offensive line unit against one of the better front sevens, certainly in the ACC.
Pitt, I mean, they do have to hurry up here. They got to be quick because the clock is moving. Looking to throw, batted, incomplete.
You know, that's a great play by rookie Walker, number 98, because Peterman's getting the ball out of his hands so quickly that this pass rush isn't getting home. So why rush them? Just stay at the line of scrimmage, try and read the eyes of the quarterback. See him right here. Just knock that ball down. Just jump up, time it.
Couple of quick points here. Number one, you have all your 3 timeouts. Even if you score a touchdown, you don't necessarily have to onside kick. Also, you could kick a field goal if you don't get in. But they do get in. Weah, touchdown. And this game is a long way from being over.
Nice job by Weah working against Brandon Faison. 2 big physical players. The play fake forced the safeties to bite up. It's just kind of one of those slow, delayed slant routes. Peterman just puts it in the back of the end zone where only his man can make the catch. That is an impressive 2-minute situation drive. Lots of football left.
90 yards in 1:32 for the touchdown. Really impressive. Big extra point. And it's up and good to make it a 3-point game. So now with 2:31 still on the clock and Pitt all 3 timeouts. I don't think you got an onside kick. You can play it straight. What a drive from Peterman and the Panthers.
This game's probably going to come down to Gerard Evans and his ability to connect on these fade throws to the perimeter against some freshman cornerbacks. Execution. The game on the line. Gerard Evans not 100%, injured earlier in the game. Bucky Hodges right there. Isaiah Ford, number 1. These guys are going to have to make plays. That's the only place really Virginia Tech's had success tonight. It's been hard running it. It's been hard throwing it over the middle of the field. All their explosive plays have come on the outside.
Fun game, really good game, and Pitt gets a lot of credit for not going away.
Well, you knew Pitt came into this game confidently, right? They'd lost twice, but only by a combined 8 points. Had the bye week. They were able to heal up some of their key players, especially on defense. And we're gonna be afraid of the Hokies. They played lights out.
See if this kick gets returned. It will. That'll mean a few extra seconds off the clock. Stroman will go down. Hit hard inside the 20. Good special teams coverage from the Panthers. 2:27 on the clock.
And how about that? Gerard Evans not in the game. Brendan Motley taking the snaps.
With nobody in the backfield, you have to think maybe quarterback run. And it is Motley who's going to keep the ball on the ground. It's maybe 3 yards, and Pitt will call its first timeout. Give the Panthers credit also for preserving their timeouts for the end of the game.
I do, but I do also give Virginia Tech and Justin Fuente credit because they want the extra advantage. They want the quarterback run, but they can't get it with Evans right now with that injury. Motley's still in the game, which tells me quarterback run again.
Motley got close, stopped a yard short, and they will burn that final timeout.
It's a tough deal with big number 6 Tyreek Jarrett, 350 pounds in the middle of that defensive line. Not an easy guy to move.
So here we go. Motley, the backup quarterback. McMillan, the tailback. They're going to give it to Phillips, trying to get to the corner. Phillips dives ahead. I think he got it. What an effort from Cam Phillips.
Oh, it looked like Jordan Whitehead at safety had an opportunity to make that tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Cam Phillips was able to make a miss. And to your point, Dave, phenomenal effort.
They get the first down. Now we'll see if Pitt, because once you spot the ball and get ready to play, Pitt waits a play to call a timeout. Clock has already started now.
Virginia Tech's able to hold on and win this. What a performance by them in a huge game coming on the road. Probably the toughest challenge remaining on the schedule. I mean, Virginia Tech's going to be favored in their last 3 games. Certainly last 3 conference games right now in conference.
Yeah, that tiebreaker win they hold over North Carolina looms so large right now. The Other question looming large, the health of Gerard Evans. Motley not taking a knee. I don't know why you wouldn't just take a knee. They run the ball. So they're not taking a knee. I'm sort of speechless, but anyway, they're running the ball.
You get to take a couple extra seconds off the clock when the quarterback runs it.
Okay.
I guess.
You don't need to, though. You don't need to. So a shotgun snap, I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying too much. Just end the game. That's my advice for the Hokies.
Valiant effort, by the way, by Pitt. I don't think we should overlook that. A lot of credit. Thought Nathan Peterman in this offense against a very tough opponent played exceptionally well.
Motley coming in relief, had a couple positive plays to help out the Hokies. Gerard Evans, a real tough guy performance, and a heck of a win on the road for Virginia Tech.
With the health of Gerard Evans, you mentioned it. That's going to go a long way, I think, in helping determine whether this Hokie team has what it takes to close out the season and reach the ACC title game.
He's hurting. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That ankle is a problem.
Good news about the Thursday game, though, you get an extra couple days before they have to play Duke. They got some time, and Gerard Evans is going to need that.
Yeah, they may well need it. Justin Fuente and the Hokies in the driver's seat in the Coastal in the ACC with a 39-36 win on the road against Pitt. For Laura Rutledge, for Jesse Palmer, Dave Fleming saying so long from Heinz Field. Now out to the Coliseum. It's the Bears and the Trojans. Mike Patrick and Ed Cunningham. Take it away, guys.